Hola gente, estamos en un nuevo video, vamos a ir al parque Animal Kingdom y bueno, ahora estamos yendo a buscar el auto que lo dejamos estacionado y es re grande, por donde hay que caminar. Todo esto donde estamos caminando es el hotel, ya les voy a sacar una foto y bueno, ¿qué tenés para decir?
Suscríbanse, dale like.
Dejen like, no darle like.
Dejen like.
Y bueno gente, ya vamos a grabar el parque. Gente, miren lo que hay. Qué bonito aquí.
Salem Missão.
females out. The one on your right, that is an okapi. Now, although they have the stripes similar to zebras, they're not related to them at all. Very closely related to giraffes. Their skull structures are near identical. Now, on your left, these three here that kind of look like deer, they're greater kudus. Get up to about 750 pounds. Now, they're all females on your left because they don't have horns. So those are female greater kudus. Use the stripes on their backs to camouflage. Now, that bird over there, as everyone see, that is the saddle-billed stork. Now, it's about 5 feet tall. Now, the cool thing about them, you can tell the gender of those birds based on their eye colors. So females will have golden eyes, males will have brown eyes. Just make sure to turn off the flash on those cameras. This is a nighttime safari. Now, over here, we're going to find 2 black rhinos. Now, these rhinos are the smaller of the 2 that live on the reserve. Get up to about 3,000 pounds. They'll charge up to 35 miles per hour. Now, they're pretty solitary animals. That's why the 2 of them are separate from one another. So these are black rhinos. Black rhinos are only found here in the forest, and white rhinos found on the savannah. So if we find some more rhinos, they're going to be white rhinos. So we're going to see if any more antelopes are hanging out on this far corner of the Ituri Forest. If not, we're going to make our way to our next stop. So let's see if anyone's migrated this way. So it looks like we're going to head over to the Safi River. So over there, we're going to be on the lookout for some Nile crocodiles, some pink-backed pelicans, and hopefully we're going to get lucky and spot some hippos. As we head into the Safi River, we are looking for a bloat of Nile hippos. That's their grouping name. So a group of hippos, they're called a bloat. Now there's going to be one all the way in that corner there. So that's going to be the first one we find, and we may find some more. So that is a male hippo. Get up to about 5,500 pounds. Babies, they're going to start at 85 pounds. So let's see if we find some more on the left side. If we do, they're going to be a little closer. Oh, there they are. So here's a pretty large bloat of them. These are all females. Now the cool thing about hippos, they don't swim. They'll walk on the bottom of the river and then they'll float up. So very helpful. They can hold their breath for about 8 minutes each time. So these white birds on this island, they are pink-backed pelicans. Now during their mating season, their skin, not their feathers, that's what's going to turn pink, kind of like they're blushing. Now they have a pretty large wingspan, ranges between 7 to 9 feet, which if you look above you is the same size as that canopy. It's the same for the first bird we found, the saddle-billed stork. They're about, get up to 9 feet, which is how large that canopy is. So we're going to make our way to the far corner of the Safi River, trying to find some Nile crocodiles. Now crocodiles, they can weigh up to 500 pounds, grow as long as about 16 feet. Also eat up to half their weight in one sitting, so 250 pounds. Group of crocodiles, they're called the Basque. They're the Basque of Nile crocodiles. Now friends, we're going to make our exit out of the forest, head to our next stop, and it's going to be the savannah. Now it's also called the Serengeti. We're going to start to notice these trees, they'll change from these leafy green ones to some baobab trees. Now baobab trees, they are leafless about 9 months out of the year, so let's see if we can find one a little further down this path here. So it looks like there's one straight ahead. Now they're also called trees of life, similar to the one you found when you entered into the park this morning. Now it's pretty fitting that these trees of life are going to be found here on the savannah. Now life here is definitely interconnected, kind of like the circle of life from the Lion King. The animals, they're going to help to keep each other in balance, and we'll see if we find some more of these baobab trees once we make our way to the other side of the savannah. So let's pull up against it a little closer.
It's a baobab tree here.
So again, that is a baobab tree. So this will be the highest point of the reserve. Already starting to see some Ankole cattle. I think I see some giraffes towards the back there. Wildebeest, so we'll get to them in just a second, see who else is out right now. Now, unlike the animals that we found in the forest, the ones over here, they don't camouflage. So that's why the Ankole cattle, the ones with those large horns, they're standing out in the open like they are. So both male and females for the Ankole cattle will have those large horns. That one there is the only male, so the one without spots is the only guy on the reserve. Each horn will grow between 3 and 4 feet. And although their horns are pretty large, they're not heavy. They're hollow inside. So each horn will have a honeycomb-like pattern. That's why they're so light. Helps to regulate their body temperatures. So that male can get up to about 1,600 pounds. The female's 1,200. So everyone else is a female on the reserve. Just that one is the only male. Now they're also called Watusis. Now the reason why they have the 2 names is because the Watusi tribe in Africa, they're the first ones to domesticate them. So that makes them the only domesticated animals, the Ankole cattle. So we're going to make our way to this far corner, see if we can find some hyenas over here. If not, we're going to make our way to the other side of the savannah, where at this time of night we normally get some pretty good luck finding giraffes. So giraffes, they are the tallest animals in the world. Females, they're going to grow between about 15 to 16 feet. Males, 18 to 20. And baby giraffes, they'll get up to about 6 feet. They start at 6 feet. Now the babies we'll probably find today will be between 9 and 10 feet. Now, giraffes, they can sprint up to 35 miles per hour. That is the average on the reserve. So most of the animals, 35. So there are spotted hyenas. There's 2 of them. Now, a group of hyenas, they're called a clan. When they vocalize, they make a whooping noise. Now, the lowest ranking female is always above the highest ranking male. The females are the one in charge. So that's why in the Lion King movie, the female hyenas are in charge of the group. So we'll make our way to the other side, see if we can find those giraffes. So giraffes, they're pretty large animals. It's fitting that they have a large heart as well. Giraffes' hearts, they're about the size of a basketball. Get up to about 25 pounds. Now their tongues, they're pretty large too. They're about 18 inches long, which if you look at your arm right now for the adults, it's the distance between the tip of your middle finger to your elbow. So your entire forearm is as long as a giraffe's tongue. It's also the same size as the largest tooth found on a hippo. So both of them are 18 inches long. Both of them are pretty large. So it really puts it in perspective how much larger these animals are compared to ourselves. So here's our first giraffe. It's going to be right behind this tree. That's one of the females. So there are 4 different species of giraffes in the world. Just one found here on the reserve. These are Maasai giraffes. Now we can tell these are Maasai if we take a look at their spots. They're going to be of different shapes and sizes, and they kind of have irregular edges, so you can see them over here. Now the gray animals on our left, those are white-bearded wildebeest. Now in Afrikaans, wildebeest, it literally translates to wild beast. They're also called gnu, spelled G-N-U. That's the noise they make when they grunt. Now they're constantly migrating, very hopeful. They start walking within the first 15 minutes of their lives. So here's a better view of the Ankole cattle. So these smaller antelopes to our right are springboks. They are extremely athletic. Second fastest on the reserve, sprint up to 55 miles per hour. Jump between 6 to 8 feet high, about 13 feet across. Makes them the perfect mascot for sports teams in South Africa. So the rugby team in South Africa, they're called the Springboks. giraffes over here. Again, a group of them, they're called the tower. So looks like this will be a little bit better for pictures. There's more of them on the side.
Here, I'll get one of just you.
So we're going to make our way up this hill that's heading to the eastern part of the savannah. But before we do, we're going to pass by 2 more of the baobab trees. Now these trees, they can store up to about 26,000 gallons worth of water. So animals like elephants and rhinos will pierce their tusks and horns into them, so that'll help to gather the water that's inside. So as we head towards this way, we're heading to the eastern part of the savannah. Now over there, we're going to try to find some white rhinos, maybe some cheetahs, and hopefully we're going to get lucky and find some lions. Now lions are nocturnal animals, so hopefully they're going to be moving around a bit right now. Now on our left, we are going to find a flamboyance of flamingos. Now you may be wondering why these flamingos are white. That's because they are greater flamingos, the lightest shade of pink for flamingos, and they'll get the faint pink coloring that they do have from the brine shrimp that they eat. Now as we make our way around this island, pay close attention to it, because that entire island they're standing on is the largest hidden Mickey found on the reserve. Everyone start to see it right now?
See that, Mickey? Shape of cement down below.
Those are actually flamingos. Can you take my picture by them? I love flamingos. Look, they have their own little beds. Isn't that cute? I love flamingos.
It looks like the next animal we're going to try to find are some cheetahs. Now they tend to hang towards the back, kind of where the bottoms of the trees are, so we want to look for their tails going side to side. They're the fastest in the world. They're going to sprint up to 70 miles per hour. So if you made your way over to Rock and Roller Coaster at Hollywood Studios, that launch goes from 0 to 60. So cheetahs, they're faster than that, go from 0 to 70. Group of cheetahs, they're called the coalition. Now, unlike larger cats like lions, they have pretty wide nostrils, helps to gather in as much oxygen as possible. Very helpful when doing activities like running at those high speeds.
Oh, I see one walking way up in the corner.
Algo, pero no sé qué es. Un león.
Just walking around up there.
Es que antes los leones estaban en otro lado.
Still walking right there. See him? Right there. There's 2 of them. There's 2 of them walking. I only see 2.
And there's one out into the other trees. I saw the shadow.
Yeah, that was good. Lying there.
Now straight ahead we're going to find some Kopi rocks. Now it's a formation of rocks that larger cats like lions like to hang around, gives them a pretty good vantage point when they hunt. They're right over here. Now lions, they like to conserve their energy and sleep between 16 and 20 hours a day. The females, they're the ones that will go out to hunt. The males, they'll stay behind with the rest of the pride to protect the cubs. In Swahili, Simba means lion, and Mufasa, that's going to mean king. And during the day, lions' eyesight just as good as ours, but at night, theirs is about 6 times better.
The male, his head is right behind the tree.
See the male?
Going over by the mama. To Messina. To Messina.
Yeah, you tell him, Cole. You tell him. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool. So a lion roar could actually be heard from about 5 miles away. So if you're hanging around Africa for the end of the night and you think you hear a lion roar, it's probably one of the 3 of them. And the animal that we passed, it was on our right. I didn't want to talk as they were roaring, but that is a bontebok. It's a cousin of the wildebeest. Their skull structures are pretty similar. There's only about 20 of them left in the world, those bonteboks. There's one over there. So you see the one
Out when an asteroid hits. Let's roll! Okay, now let's go get that dino. Computer, what are you tracking?
Styracosaurus.
Not our dino.
Warning, meteor shower in range.
Just little one.
Oleoramus. Hadrosaur. Raptor.
Time to get serious. Locking autopilot on homing signal now! Hang on! I'm tracking a big dino on the scope. Could be ours. Computer, full stop. Identify.
Carnotaurus.
Definitely not our dino. Go, go, go! Another big guy coming up. Computer. Low and identify.
Sauropod.
Still not our dino, but at least this one's a vegetarian.
Asteroid impact in 90 seconds.
We gotta move it.
Pterodactyl.
Incoming!
Asteroid impact in 60
We
seconds.
can't stop now. Keep going, keep going.
Compsognathus.
Super, what's happening?
Loss of traction.
Four-wheel drive, move it!
Warning, meteor strike.
That was close. Computer, now what?
Carnotaurus.
extraction! Abort! Abort!
Iguanodon.
Forget it! Get them out now!
Asteroid impact.
They're not gonna make it! They're not gonna make it!
Mission accomplished.
You made it! I knew you would. I guess you made it back with you.
Tírate de miedo, si no pasa nada. No, 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 no.